Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. This is your game week 28. The season's coming to an end soon. 10 more games left. And yeah, this is your game week 28. We're going to preview all the games for this weekend, even today's games, even this weekend's games, all the games. Shell thoughts. 10 games left to go. Will Arsenal bottle it like always? Or will they not? Who knows? We'll find out because we've got two Arsenal fans tonight. So let's see. Let's see if they're confident still. But yeah, joining me with me today is our host Manny himself. How you doing, Manny? Big up to you.
Yeah, all good. Big up to you as well, Orest. And it's funny, really, because in recent times, when it comes to these draws, we've been given a great deal of luck right now. It just feels as though, in some ways, the luck is sort of in our favour, and yet we know. I don't know if our other Arsenal fan and our other co-hosts will agree with me, but we've known from years gone by that if anything horrible can happen, it will happen. So there's no way that we can look too far ahead. I can't look too far ahead. Yes, we've beat Wolves, but even the most passionate Arsenal fan will agree that we didn't really play well the whole way through, and Spurs, quite frankly, are just diabolical right now. And all we can do is just, hope that we continue this vein against Chelsea. We should win. We've got a good record against them. I'm confident of the big win, but if we fail to win this weekend, I think we're done. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And the next guest, he's showing something on his phone. It's Mason. He's showing Havertz.
It's coming again, boys. It's coming. It's happening. Havertz. He's keeping Chelsea on a leash.
How you doing, Mason? Good?
I'm good, bro. Good to be back. Happy to be here. Shame about no Chelsea fans, no Spurs fans after the weekend as well. Yeah, maybe we can get some Bayer Leverkusen fans on here because I don't know where all my rivals are going.
Leverkusen fans, yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find them, but yeah, listen, look, obviously this is your game week 28 preview. Start off for tonight. Runners to return to winning ways against Wolves tonight. So, Manny, I'll start you off with this one. This is like a derby or rivalry for this one, isn't it?
Yeah, both of these teams are, of course, rivals from the same part of the Midlands, so there is, of course, a connection between them. I believe Rob Edwards back in the day used to play for Aston Villa, if memory serves me right, in addition to playing for Wolves. And another player who will be returning to Molineux, an old one, is a certain Emi Martinez, who, counted Wolves as one of the clubs he joined on loan from Arsenal before he ended up becoming big. Now, Wolves have shown a great deal of spirit, and MK and I will know only too well just how painful a trip to Molineux could be. To go up 2-0 over there and to concede those two goals the way we did was just nigh on unprofessional, unforgivable, diabolical, all the adjectives you could ask for. And the thing about this Wolves team is I think they still have something to aim for to avoid being officially labelled worse than Derby County. But I think they know their fate. They've resigned themselves to their fate, and we could see them actually doing quite well. And of course, in the previous clash this season, Wolves went to Villa Park and actually dominated, but it took a huge screamer from Boubacar Kamara to win the game. Sadly, as we will find out, Kamara is out injured, but Villa, of course, have made some changes from the disappointing draw at Ellen Road. And Wolves, of course, are coming into this, still fighting, obviously, but I think they've also pretty much resigned themselves to their fate. They're still sticking with the 3-4-2-1, which Rob Edwards employs, so it will be Jose Sarr with Mosquera, Santi Bueno, and Toti Gomez in the back three, Chachua, João Gomez, Andre, and Hugo Bueno in that four-man midfield. A double attacking pivot of Bellegarde and Mane with Armstrong as lone striker. And we've got the substitutes over here, obviously, named in order of their jersey numbers, and a couple of youngsters on the Wolves bench. As far as Villa are concerned, well, as I mentioned, Martinez is, of course, in the team, and he'll be going back to Molyneux. Digne comes in for Ian Matson. Pau Torres comes in for Tyrone Mings. It's still a double midfield pivot of Onana and Douglas Luiz, who's pretty much started every game ever since, coming back to the club he loved a great deal. Still Rodgers in the 10, still Gwendy is starting, and still a lot of faith being kept with Ollie Watkins, despite the fact that he has been horribly misfiring of late. But of course, Villa do have their own bomb squad. Ross Barkley, Tammy Abraham, among others to come on. Ian Matson can provide some attacking impetus, of course. If Cash fades a bit, bring on Bojardo. Bailey has been struggling a little bit, so it's just as well that Sancho gets the start ahead of him. And Alisson, look out for their teenager from Brazil who couldn't be in the squad earlier due to injury, but now he is fit and he is back and he is hoping to go. And he could end up coming off the bench tonight. Obviously, we've got Simon predicting a 3-1 win. For me, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win because Villa are also in a position where, every win they get is 3 more points they get, which will keep some distance between themselves and the other teams in third, including a certain Manchester United, who we'll be talking about later, Horace. And of course, they've been drawn against Lille in the round of 16 of the Europa League, a repeat of the Conference League quarterfinal, which was controversial in many ways. They're still favourites to win the Europa League, but once you get to the knockout stages, nobody cares about whether or not you're the favourites or not. So Simon also saying that he still thinks that City will win, still thinks that Arsenal will win the league after the first 5 league games. And this is going to be interesting. We'll talk about that later. We've got Calcio Reno saying, Buonasera, everyone, and Chelsea fan also in the building. So anyway, back to this particular game. I'm going for a 2-1 Villa win because, they just need the 3 points any which way, and Wolves are going to give them a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, fair enough. MK, what about you? What do you think? Villa Wolves.
Well, first of all, you've got to say that Wolves is not an easy place to go. Well, that's if you're Arsenal. To be fair, Villa, I'm just looking at the stats and all that, the results from previous games, and you can see here, Villa have not actually beaten Wolverhampton at Wolves' ground the last victory they got is December the 12th, 2020. So if you're looking at that, so 2022, Wolves beat them 2-1. 2023, it was a 1-0 victory to Wolves. 2023, October reverse, the other fixture was 1-1. And February was 2-0 to Wolves last season. So when you're looking at it like that, obviously Villa, it is a derby. Everyone knows this. All form goes out the window. And that is why I think Wolves are going to put pressure on their relegation candidates, Tottenham. And I think they're going to win something, I think it's going to be... to be fair, I reckon it's going to be a 1-0 Wolves. I think Wolves are going to do this.
Yeah.
Chelsea fan disagrees with you. He's got the 2-0, but Forrest, you're the tiebreaker.
Chelsea fan, please come on here, please. Let's chat. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, we've got a big game Chelsea against Arsenal.
You know what
I mean, he's a fair play. He's the only fan that's actually speaking to us, so I'll give you credits for that, Chelsea.
It would be nice if no type, and I like to speak to my opponents face to face.
Yeah, but no, with this one tonight, I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it's going to be a draw, points shared each.
Okay.
Yeah, and also if they draw, it'll be a brilliant result for my team, Man United. So listen, Villa, I hope you drop more points, and yeah, we'll be catching up to you guys. So yeah, I'm going for 1-1. Simon says, I understand what you're saying, but say 2-1 Wolves attack big time, and Villa will be forced to finish them off.
1-0 Wolves, man. 1-0.
No, I'm going 1-1. 1-1 for me.
1-0 Wolves.
2-1 Villa for me, so it's effectively a 3-way tie, but the chat seems to predict it'll be a Villa win, so, we go that way. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. That's fine. Right, moving over. Next game, we've got Resurgent Cherries to Thames Fragrant Black Cats. I mean, Bournemouth Sunderland, big one. Money. Start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, well, a lot of people were giving Sunderland a great deal of credit over the season for the way they've started. But the thing about these Premier League teams that, just get promoted and start really well is that they always end up fading away. I do wonder if the absence of our former skipper Granit Xhaka has been a bit of a factor, but Sunderland just don't look the same. And coming off 2 consecutive home defeats to Liverpool and Fulham of all teams, I'm just not sure they're in the best form. In stark contrast, there was a point when we were rather worried about Bournemouth, especially, with the whole Semenyo issue not really doing them any favours. I think it is fair to say, though, that ever since Semenyo left, they started to climb up the table again. And as I'm speaking, they are currently in a very impressive 8th, 7 points behind Chelsea and Liverpool on 45 points, and 10 points behind Manchester United. So the way this league is going, Bournemouth are definitely not far from the European places, while Sunderland, in contrast, have slipped down to 12th, although they are 2 points behind Bournemouth. It's amazing how competitive this league has been, but we also have to be honest and say that the teams that we were expecting to do well have dropped off harshly this season. But we also have to be honest with ourselves and say that we haven't capitalised. I see this game ending in a Bournemouth win. And the thing about this is that Sunderland now, I think they're just deprived of a little bit of confidence for some reason. And their recent results have not really been the best. When you lose your home record and go have 2 consecutive home defeats, and your away record is not really the best, you've got to somehow, try and find a way to crack that. But they're going to go to a Bournemouth team that enjoy playing attacking football, that are going to have a few players coming back from injury. And, of course, they've got their own Brazilian wonder kid in Rayan, who has literally lit up the Premier League with 2 consecutive goals as well against Aston Villa and against Everton. So I cannot see beyond the Bournemouth win here, I'm afraid. The Cherries are going to, literally, they've got to win this. I see the Black Cats choking on the Cherry seats. 3-1 Bournemouth. That's my prediction.
Fair enough. Mason?
To be honest with you, I just want to say, Manny, you're spot on there, to be honest. The only game in the league, and we're going by league here because obviously they did lose to Newcastle on the penalty shootout in the FA Cup. But on league fixtures, we're talking about they only lost to us in their last 7 games. So that is 1 loss in the last 7 for Bournemouth. The Cherries are really on point, to be honest. And I don't mind a little Pepsi Cherry Coke. I don't know about you boys, but I don't mind a little Pepsi Cherry at the end of the day. Sunderland, the Black Cats, I'm not a cat person myself. So I'd rather the Cherries win in that sense. So I'm probably going to agree with Manny on the scoreline that Bournemouth will win, and I'm going to actually say, and this may reflect because of they beating Tottenham 3-2, and they also beat Liverpool 3-2. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 Bournemouth win.
Ooh, you love those close scorelines, don't you? Same scores against Spurs and Liverpool.
Love it, mate.
Great.
Love it. Could be history made. That would be brilliant. Right now, they had all their games. That would be good.
Well, obviously, we've got Simon saying that it will be a much closer result, a 2-1 Bournemouth win, and Chelsea actually predicting it will be a 1-1 draw. And Orest, if you're walking in the park, but at least you're still paying attention. How do you see this game going?
No, I'm actually in the bus. I'm almost on, but Bournemouth, Sunderland, it's a close game. I think Bournemouth win this. I think it'll be 2-1 Bournemouth. 2-1 Bournemouth for me. So, I'm going to go with a Bournemouth winning.
Yes.
No, I'm on the bus, unfortunately. My license is coming soon, guys. Don't worry. Moving over. We've got the next game. Leeds to bounce back against all but relegated Clarets. So Burnley versus Brentford. I mean, obviously, before we talk about the game itself, I don't know if you guys seen, but Keith Andrews has signed a new contract until 2031.
Yes.
Yes. Some could say he deserves it, but for me, I think he does. But I think maybe at the same time it's a bit too early. Maybe we have to finish the 6 games. But you know what? I'm not gonna say it was a bad decision at all. So you know what? When Brentford got Keith Andrews on one side of the season, I thought he was going to do a bad job. So he's turned it around for me. He's turned my words around. So yeah, but for this game, I think Brentford will be too strong for Burnley. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Brentford for me. Okay.
To be honest with you, right, I'm going to say this. Burnley have got a very good record against Brentford at home. And we all know my disliking to the Bees at the moment. So on that note, I'm going to go 2-1 Burnley. Come on, Burnley. Put some pressure on Tottenham.
Well, I mean, you know, I'll tell you what. You know, Brentford also are coming into this game off the back of a rather disappointing home loss to Brighton and Hove Albion. And that's the thing you get with Brentford. Just when you think they can go on a serious run, they, you know, trip up in the unlikeliest fashion. But the thing about Burnley is that they are literally like Luton Town last season. They put in all these spirited performances and show that they have the desire, but the lack of quality and the lack of goals just lets them down.
Yeah.
And it's not a sight that you really want to see. And I think Scott Parker will probably end up out of the job faster than you can say Scott Parker. And as far as Brentford are concerned, they will know how disappointed they were to lose to Brighton. This should be an easy Brentford win, but knowing that it's going to be a Turf Moor with the crowd egging on the team, I'm going to stick my neck out and go for a 2-1 Bees win.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's similar to mine, but yeah, no clean sheet for Brentford. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Yeah. 2 Brentford wins and then 1 Burnley win for Mason. And George Fan says 2-1 Brentford as well. So yeah, same with mine's prediction, I guess. And then Sam says this could be a mad result, but I'm going 3-2 Brentford. Oh my. 5 goals. Fair enough. Okay. Fair play. All right. Moving over to the next game. We've got Nuno to possibly cause another upset. I hope. Yeah, Liverpool do host against West Ham. Obviously, they're coming after winning against Forest away, which I didn't expect, to be fair. Obviously, late drama at the end with some dodgy VAR decisions. But at the end of the day, this is why we call them Liverpool for a reason. So, yeah. Manny, what are your thoughts on this game?
Trust a Manchester United fan to use that terminology about Liverpool. Look, ever since Pereira's come in, ever since Nuno's come into West Ham, he has literally, you know, saved them from having a real quick drop down. And it is a testament to how well his methods have worked at West Ham that they are now in a position where they could still fight to stay up. So it's effectively between the Hammers, Forest, and Spurs for that final spot, unless Burnley can also somehow conjure up a magnificent run, which I don't think will be likely. I think this is going to go down to the wire, and there's enough about West Ham to tell me that they could potentially stay. So one of Ange Postecoglou's former teams will end up going down, and I think that makes him even more vindicated in every way if you watch this overlap. And West Ham fans are now going to have to accept that the days of free-flowing, stylish football are now over, and counter-attacking, staid, conservative football is now the way to go, at least for now. You never should have sacked David Moyes, especially after he won that European trophy. As far as Liverpool are concerned, they're at Anfield, and they lost to Nuno's Forest last season, but that Forest was far much different to the Forest we're seeing right now. And in theory, it should be a mismatch of quality, but then so was the Forest-Liverpool game, and Liverpool ended up winning by the skin of their teeth. So West Ham are going to give them a tough time. I just think, though, that Liverpool are now going to be more determined than ever to make sure they secure top 4 and Champions League football with the league out of the way. And they will also have their eyes set on going on a Champions League run, especially given that they've got to play Galatasaray in the round of 16, which is going to be a very, very tasty clash indeed. 2-1 to the Reds. They can't afford to lose this game, but if they lose, they could be in a world of trouble. And if West Ham win, then all the pressure will be on the teams above.
Yeah, fair enough. Mason?
Yeah, to be honest, Manny's got it out on the head, really. I think Liverpool will be too much for the Hammers. Like their last 14 times they've played at home against Liverpool, the Hammers have only won one of those. Liverpool have won 11, with 2 of those being draws, and none of them have been draws recently. I think the last time West Ham went to Anfield and got a draw in the league, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, 2016. So let's be real, that's a very long time ago. So I reckon Liverpool 3, West Ham 0 for that one.
Fair enough. We've got Joe saying Liverpool 2-0. Yeah, go on, mate. Sorry, go on, man.
Yeah, Simon agrees with you, and he also, brought about a little blast from the past saying that Sean Coates loved the Turf Moor hat-trick. Feed the goat and he will score. That was a throwback. And of course now, that's sort of what you say about these strikers. If you give them service, they will definitely score. And something else here from Simon, who says, there will be massive drama on the last day of the season. So many things that come into factor. Trust me. Look, mate, I trust you because take a look at how competitive the league is right now. I don't even think the title or the relegation spots or European spots or what have you will be decided until that last game week. So I don't know if you boys will agree with me, but I think the way this league is going, we're going to have a lot more thrills, spills,
personally, Manny,
chills.
I'd love this league wrapped up, but you know, mine and your club never does the same. You know, we don't do this fucking easily, mate. Being Arsenal fans, we never do it easily. So it would not shock me if we've got to go to Palace and win to win the league. I can't lie. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a Liverpool win here, but I really hope West Ham do something. So I will go for 1-0 Liverpool win, but I think Liverpool will try and make it look like West Ham, but I think Liverpool get their goal. So 1-0 Liverpool for me, but the thing is, Liverpool they haven't been consistent. That's their problem. That's the problem on this slot. If they win, and then the next match they don't like continue winning, so they have a draw or lose. So I mean, Liverpool needs to show a bit of consistency. If they want to get top 5, they need to show a bit of consistency. So that's what I think. But yeah, I see Liverpool wins in the chat. Chelsea can just 2-0 Liverpool, and Sam is a 3-0 Liverpool as well. Fair enough. All right, moving over. Newcastle, Everton. Mike Punch to chew up the toffees. Manny, what do you think?
Definitely a must-win game for both teams. I think it's fair to say that Everton will be quite disappointed to have lost yet another home game at the Bramley Docklands, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And they're still struggling to get adjusted to their new surroundings. But then MK and I will tell you that we struggled a great deal to get adapted to Emirates Stadium first time around. And even when we had our Champions League games at Wembley, it was just absolutely horrible. Newcastle as well, they're still not exactly consistent. In fact, Newcastle, as I speak, are below Everton in the league. And in their last 6 games, their record is played 6, won 1, drawn 1, lost 4. So they are in a pretty poor run of form. Although they're doing quite well in Europe as well, and they will have a very tasty round of 16 Champions League tie against Barcelona to look forward. Although in all likelihood, I predict that Marcus Rashford and company will just be too much for them once again. And again, there's only a point separating them. 37 for Everton, 36 for Newcastle United. This league has been so bonkers, not just competitive, but absolute bonkers. And Everton also having lost their last 2 games, neither of these teams are coming into the game in, really decent recent form. I think Everton might have a little bit of an edge. If they do have Jake O'Brien back from suspension, that could be a very big help. But there's a part of me that thinks that even without Guimaraes, as long as they've got Anthony Gordon, they're always going to find a big way. And, you know, Everton fans do not like Anthony Gordon. And how many times have we seen him, you know, be the decisive factor in this very clash? Everton are higher in the table. Moyes has got them to a position of safety, and they're definitely not going to get relegated. Neither are Newcastle. But I just think Eddie Howe will probably end up getting the better of David Moyes here. St James's Park is never a nice place to go. Not easy to win there. Arsenal did it. Villa did it. Can't think of too many other teams that did. 2-1 to the Magpies. I think Orest is frozen, so MK, let's go to you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've just got to basically say the same as you, to be fair. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail because I think you've really covered it, to be fair. But I do think the Magpies will be too tough for the Toffees, you know. I'm going to probably go for a 2-1 victory to the Magpies.
Same as me and same as Chelsea fan. Simon's also gone for a 1-goal win, but a clean sheet for Nick Pope. Orest, if you're there, can you hear us? Newcastle versus Everton. How do you see this going?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna join the trio again. So 2-1 Newcastle as well. So yeah, I'm joining you guys. Because I believe Newcastle will concede. So yeah, I'm going 2-1 Newcastle. And goal scorers is interesting because I don't know if Gordon will score. Because if Gordon scores, then that'll be funny. So yeah, I mean, listen, I hope that this summer that United try and like get one or two Newcastle players, because apparently we're looking at a few, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how reliable they are. So yeah, so I think we're looking at I think it's Malik, his name is Malik Thiaw, centre back, I think. So yeah, let's see. But yeah, I will go for 2-1 Newcastle. Yeah, but that's all predictions locked in. Manny's already said that Simon's goal with 1 on Newcastle, and Chelsea fans agrees with us. So yeah, moving over, and this is where
late.
Yep, a late show with Manchester City going to a Leeds United team that have had a very happy knack of picking up points against teams at the top of the table at Ellen Road. Thankfully, Arsenal bucked the trend. We beat them there, thrashed them there. Villa also won, by the way. And, you know, this particular City team have been rewarded for their resurgence with some really, really horrible fixtures. We now know that they're going to play Real Madrid, rather, in the last 16 of the Champions League. They've got Newcastle in the next round of the FA Cup. They've also got to play us in the League Cup final, which, you know, should be an absolute cracker. So this is going to be a test of their resolve, and they have started to turn the corner a little bit. They're not so leaky defensively. But you've got to credit Daniel Hart for the job that he's done with a sort of a 5-man defence or a 5-man midfield and 2 up front. He's been able to get the best out of that squad. And when you've got James Justin and Jared Bogle playing on the right, causing a great deal of problems, interchanging as well with their different qualities, and quite a few other players also doing very well. You know, that fellow Stack, he can hit a mean free kick, let me tell you that. You know, they're not going to be an easy opposition against whom to play. And so City are really going to have to prove their mettle. I would love to see Leeds beat them or, you know, take the point off them, because it will make it easier for us. City do still have a game in hand. The thing is, though, I'm going to say that City might just end up edging it, because ever since that game against Liverpool, they've almost, you could say, been a team transformed. And this is going to be very tough. It'll be ugly, but I think City might just come out on top here. 2-1 to the Citizens.
Mason, are you going to predict Leeds to win it?
To be honest with you, you know, City are not going to be easy. Let's be real. But Leeds, you know, me and Leeds, never had no issues. You know, we went to Ellen Road, sorry, shall I say? We got the victory. So I would love nothing more to Leeds to wipe these City fans apart, to be honest. But I don't think they're gonna. And on that note, I'm not going to predict City to win because I can't be doing that. I'm going to say 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Leeds 2, City 2. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 3-1 City, man. I'm think City will be on fire, man. I think Pep will get his side on fire, and yeah, I think City will win it, man. 3-1 City. They'll close the gap on Arsenal. So yeah, I'm gonna go for City winning. But then again, the thing is, I agree with what Manny says. Like, we need to give props to Daniel Fark. So I remember a few weeks ago, there was talks about his future. I mean, these fans were unhappy with him, etc., etc. But now he's turned it around. He's turned it around. So yeah, but yeah, I am going to go 3-1 City, but I won't be surprised if City do drop points. Yeah, this is where the Arsenal fans come in, you know. So yeah, I mean, listen, look, City can be. Thing is, City can be get at. That's one thing for sure. If Leeds want to win this game, you need to be going toe to toe with them, like take on your chances, because there is a mistake during them for City. So yeah, and also, thing is, this is Pep's last season, guys, and so I'm telling you now, Pep won't be here next season. So yeah, they are going to try to do something. So yeah, I am going to stick with my 3-1 prediction for City. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow, right? Simon says I'm off now, dudes. Take care. Good, take care, Simon. Good to see you in the chat. And Charles Francis C 2-1. Fair enough. Simon also predicts 3-1 win as well. Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. Same as mine. All right. Cool. I think all predictions locked in. So let's go to the next one. And the next one is Brighton hosting against Forest. So Seagulls further darken the Forest atmosphere. So Manny, I will come to you. So Fabian Hersler versus Vitor Pereira. Who do you see winning in this one?
So Forest, I don't think will win. I think Brighton will be buoyed by that brilliant result over at the G-Tech. And of course, you can't talk about Brighton and Forest at the Amex without mentioning that absolute shellacking that that Nottingham Forest gave Brighton. But Brighton since then have been able to, get the better of Forest. And for all of their own European exploits, and they're also now in the last 16 of the Europa League after overcoming Fenerbahce and have done quite well in Europe. It's amazing how some of these teams have literally just, belied their indifferent and horrible league form by doing really well in Europe. But when it comes to the Premier League, that is always their bread and butter, so they say. And it's just, at the moment, I just don't think the Forest have been able to, quite get it together. They were very unlucky against Liverpool, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really, the league table doesn't care about your fortune or your lack of it. And of course, they will be playing the Danish powerhouse Midtjylland in the round of 16, and Midtjylland actually beat Nottingham Forest in the group stage 3-2. But that was despite Forest having 22 shots on goal under Amsterdam Republic. What could have been? I see Brighton winning here. And this is going to be another game where Forest are going to try to huff and puff, and they just can't really blow the house down. You think of someone like Igor Jesus, who scored 7 goals in the Europa League campaign, and he definitely has the ability, but he just blows hot and cold. And I think Brighton obviously have just got a little bit of a spring in their step. They're playing at home, and we've got to play them at the Amex not too long from now. This has to have a Brighton win with the River all over it. I think Forest will give them a good game, but 2-1 to the Seagulls.
Enough, Mason. I think he's doing something.
To be honest, boys, I think this one I'm going to make it quick. I'm going to go with Brighton 2-0 for 2-0 Brighton.
Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton for me. I think Brighton will win this one. Um, yeah, I think Brighton are under pressure to win it anyway. So yeah, I do think Brighton will win it. I see that Forest obviously they've qualified to the next round now. So yeah, obviously yeah. Let's see what they do on the Super Pro. But then again, I mean I don't want to speak about the Forest owner, but this guy, Marinakis, man, how evil, how cruel this man is, man. Like even I don't even think Manny wants to speak about him. Like I have no words to say about him anyways, but yeah, all I'm gonna say is a shambles of he's a shambolic of an owner. Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If Wolves get relegated, then maybe he'll be forced to sell the club. So there's a part of me that wouldn't mind seeing them get relegated. But there's still so many twists and turns in this entire league. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Right. Moving over now. We've got a must-win London derby, but Wolves Spurs have come down to the cottage. So yeah, I mean Tottenham do play Fulham after losing 4-1 to Arsenal. You know, that was a hammer and a half. But yeah, I mean look, Fulham versus Tottenham must-win game for Tottenham, but I'm gonna go with 1-1. I think Tottenham draw here, and I think Fulham will get something. I think Mason. That's time to Mason, but yeah, I am going to say 1-1 here. Manny?
I'm not going to agree with you. I think Spurs, it's bad enough that they've been rewarded for their surprisingly good European campaign with the draw against, by being drawn against Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. Their Premiership form this season has been absolutely awful. And they never ever should have sacked Ange Postecoglou, in my opinion. They never should have hired Thomas Frank, who I called it was just another Graham Potter. And now there's talk about whether or not Igor Tudor might be given until the end of the season. He may probably only have about 2 games after the North London derby to actually prove that he deserves to continue in the job. For me, that would be very, very harsh. You've got to give him time. And as far as Fulham are concerned, they're still a team that, just when, you think that you can see them going on a good run, they end up having a little bit of a struggle. But as things stand, they are currently 10th in the league, same number of points as Everton, 1 point ahead of Newcastle and Sunderland. And more crucially, of course, they are 8 points ahead of Spurs. Spurs, I think, if they really don't get their act together, there is a chance that they could go down. And I don't want to, start talking about whether or not I actually want Spurs to go down, because, look, for what it's worth, the North London derby is always a classic, and I've got some good friends who are Spurs fans. My brother-in-law loves them. But if they do go down, you've got to say, in all honesty, that they deserve it. There are no two ways about it. Simple as that. So I think Fulham might just end up pipping this contest. I'll be going for a 2-1 win at the Cottage, and Spurs' problems are sadly just going to end up continuing.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, let's see with Tottenham. I think there's a lot of majority of Arsenal fans that do want to see Tottenham go down, which will be funny, very funny. But yeah, I mean, look, let's see what happens. It's going to be a big one. Tottenham do need to win, but yeah, I'm still going to say 1-1. We've got a chat here. George versus Fulham 2-1. Oh wow. Okay,
yep.
Fair enough.
He's gone the score line that I've predicted. So good on you there, Mark.
Fair enough. Well, all right. Moving on, we've got 2 games left. We've got Red Hot Red Devils to ground the Eagles. Yeah, so we do host Crystal Palace this Sunday, and I think knowing the fact that Palace last night went strong, and obviously I know they won in the Conference League. They won. I believe it was 2-0. So yeah, they're through.
Yeah,
but
2-0.
I believe we've got the advantage now because they're going to be a bit of fitness because of their game last night. But yeah, I do expect United to win this game. Obviously, I would say the last two games we played poorly, but we've got the 3 points. I think that's what it matters, really. So, but yeah, we do need to start picking up. Sorry, no, our recent one was a win, but the game before that was a draw. So yeah, West Ham, yeah. But no, look, yeah, Carrick, obviously he's been undefeated so far, which is great. But let's see if he can keep this up. But yeah, I would like to see Sesko start. Hopefully Carrick starts Sesko because obviously every time he seems to be coming off the bench and scoring. So I don't see what's the issue here on not starting him. So yeah, but no. Also, I must say, Senny Lamens has been amazing, absolutely amazing for us. So I'm very happy with him, with the addition. I mean, people are starting to call him Baby Courtois, man. So, but yeah. Anyways, I wouldn't go that far, anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2-0. Chelsea fans don't mind, but yeah, 2-0 Man United win. Manny, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, like, Crystal Palace have managed to, recover a little bit, and they do have Evan Gesson to thank. Wasn't quite able to make the grade of Aston Villa, but ever since joining the Eagles, he's been quite outstanding, it has to be said. And, I would agree on Lamens, but all this, I want to say to you, right, to all of these United fans who are using this as an opportunity to bash Emi Martinez, saying we're glad we've got Lamens and he's a better keeper than Martinez is. Wind your necks in. Lamens has done nothing to prove prove that he deserves these plaudits as of yet. Let him play some games. Let him continue to do well, and then we'll see how things go. As far as Man United are concerned, obviously after the initial brilliant run with wins over City and Arsenal, you could say that the drop-off was expected, but you also have been able to grind out wins. And I still would say that the jury would be out on whether or not Carrick should get the job full-time, because let's not forget, you are only playing a game a week. You're not in Europe. You're out of both the domestic cups. And so this is more or less expected. And, I can also tell you right now that having a game a week doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will end up successful at the end of the season. We remember only too well, lest we forget. As far as this game is concerned, I can't see beyond the United win, but this could end up being tight. And I think Palace have started to at least slightly turn the corner a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Gesson has his name on the score sheet again. But United at Old Trafford, it's not going to be a walkover like it was under Amorim. And I'm glad you got rid of that Portuguese fraud, that Mourinho wannabe. I am, like I said, I just think you're going to have too much for the Eagles here.
Yeah.
2-1 to United. It's not going to be a very easy game, but you will win.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, look, it's safe to say, and I know you might not like it, but I'm happy that we didn't get Martins. I'm really happy. So, I mean, with Lamens, I feel comfortable with him. When it's corners, he's good at claiming crosses. Like he's not like Onana where we was all scared that he was doing the mistake. So, yeah, listen, look, he's only young. Lamens is only young. I think United fans do need to calm down a bit, but. Yeah, I mean, look, Manny knows that I never wanted Martinez, but I'm not here to say that Lamens better than Martinez, because I know he isn't, but yeah, I still think Lamens got some work to do, in my opinion. So,
Top man, glad you agree. But United should win this. I'm sure you will.
that's fast, and I'm so happy. I am so happy that Onana doesn't play for us. So yeah. But yeah, moving over. Just fun. So it's Tournament United, and also if you're watching the stream, make sure you guys do smash the like and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, we've got the big one, man. We've got the big one. Sunday, London Derby cracker. Arsenal to continue Chelsea misery. So, Manny, obviously, Arsenal host Chelsea this Sunday after smashing comfortably Tottenham last weekend. And yeah, Arteta faces Liam Rossinha again twice. So, what do you think? So no, it's 3 times now. I think I believe it'll be 3 times. So,
Yeah,
Only
both legs of the League Cup semi-final, and now this will be the third. And you know, I have this nasty habit of seeing some of my biggest predictions go completely haywire. I was stupid enough to predict that we would beat Wolves 3-1 at Molineux. That lot of good that did. And I'm also going for a 3-1 win here, if only because we've got an outstanding record against Chelsea in recent times. I can't seem to remember the last time we lost to them. That might actually, in fact, have been under Arteta, but that was before things started to change for the better, and so they say. I would say more than anything else that Chelsea really have got their work cut out now, and Rosenior still doesn't quite know what would be his best tactics, and that's a bit of an indictment on him in many ways. But having said all of that, Horace, we can't really discount Chelsea just yet, because we know that they will be more or less up for this. They're definitely going to want to make sure they get some revenge for the League Cup semi-final. They will have some of their players back playing for them. I'm not too sure about the team news. I only hope that the players who played and did well against Tottenham get to start against Chelsea. If you're in possession of the jersey, you've got to keep it. So that means Eze over Martin Odegaard and Victor Gyökeres being the first choice striker. No ifs, no buts, no wants. Like I said, we should win this 3-1, but I am also going to, quote myself and say, and it looks as though Wolves have taken. No, they haven't taken the lead, I think. Yes, they have taken the lead. I think it looks like. No, they haven't. No, shot on goal from Douglas Luiz, straight at Jose Sarr. I think Luiz wasn't really in control of that. But I'm confident enough of predicting a 3-1 win, but I will say right now that if we fail to beat this Chelsea team on our home turf, then, again, say goodbye to the title, because this should be an opportunity to beat a Chelsea team that are still more or less trying to find their feet under Rosenior, who also never should have been hired by the club. And Chelsea is also not very confident of his team doing well. He's gone for a 3-0 wipeout. But I'm confident of an Arsenal win, but if we don't win, then it will be all over.
Yeah, look, no, for me, right, Arsenal must win this. If you want to win the title, you can't be dropping points anymore now. You've got 10 games left. I think each game is like a final to you guys, now cup final. So yeah, I'll say take each game like a final. I hate saying this, but yeah, I mean, all players should be taking all games as a finals anyway. So yeah, but no, for me, I do think Arsenal will win this. I think Rosenior might try and make it a bit tight, but no, I think Arsenal win this 2-0. Yeah, I think it would help us help United a lot with this top 4 race, or top 5, should I say? So yeah, it would mean that if United do win and Arsenal win, I think it would mean that it will be 6 points clear of Chelsea. So yeah, I mean, Arsenal will win this game, I believe, and I'm going to go with a 2-0. But yeah, Chelsea fans says 3-0 Arsenal. Yeah, no belief in Chelsea side. But Manny, what's your thoughts so far with Arsenal? Do you believe the title is yours or not yet?
In the words of the legendary Lenny Kravitz, it ain't over till it's over. And after that ugly result against Wolves at Molineux, I am not in any position whatsoever to assume anything. I am not going to get my hopes up. I've been burnt before, and I'm not going to let that happen again. So let's just, take each game as it comes, take the League Cup final as it comes. The League Cup final would be a wonderful opportunity to try and win silverware. It's amazing how our fan base have gone from dismissing the League Cup final as, not worthy of our time, to something that could end up, being really good for us in terms of our season. But end of the day, it's a trophy. I hope we win it. The league, I hope we win it. I hope City do drop off because, things seem to be going in our favour of late. But we've got to make sure that we take things seriously. No more of these, immature drop-offs. No more of these, muck-ups or what have you. Let's just do what we have to do and make sure we do it well. And if we get it done, we get it done. But if we don't get it done, then the chips will fall where they may. And the people in charge, they know what they have to do.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, obviously, like I said, there's 10 games to go. Depending on what City's result is tomorrow, Arsenal must win this game. No drawing, no losing, no losses. I don't. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea set up. It'll be interesting to see if Cole Palmer will turn up, because usually he's not nowhere to be seen whenever Chelsea face Arsenal. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game for sure. But yeah, no, I do think Arsenal. I do think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do think Arsenal do have a good record against Chelsea at the Emirates. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we've pretty much captured all the games now. So yeah, yeah. I'm just checking if I missed any news in terms of football news. But no. Yeah. So far, Wolves. The stats with Wolves and Villa is possession, 36 possession to Wolves and 64 possession to Villa. And yeah, that's about it. So we'll see how that game goes tonight. We'll see who wins or who drops points. But yeah, we'll wrap up here then. Manny, big up to you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, first of all, big up to you, Loris, and thanks a lot for organising this stream. Big up to MK as well, who was here, but sadly had to rush off due to what I shall say is a family situation. I hope things are okay with him and that he'll be, and that everything will be resolved. Yeah, I mean, you could find me here on Oris Talks Football, just chewing the fat about the Premiership, of course, and we will obviously be looking to review a lot of the games that have been played, and definitely there will be a great deal to discuss. And yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you all the next time we come on. And if you want to catch me on social media, it is Manny Bangalore 1981 on Instagram and Threads, Bangalore 1981 on Twitter. And nothing much else to say except I hope you all enjoy your weekend, and I hope you all enjoy the games that are about to be played. If your team is doing well in Europe, I hope you will enjoy it. And nothing much else. Just take care of yourselves. As always, be safe, be happy, do unto others, you know others do unto you, and don't do anything that RSMK and I wouldn't do. But until then, as always, farewell. God bless. Take care. See you all soon.
Yeah, big up to Manny. Sorry about that. Yeah, big up to Manny for that. Nice one. Make sure you guys go do follow Manny on the socials. And yeah, like I said, big up to MK as well. It was always good to see Mason. And Mason did have to go because obviously he sent us a message. So hopefully his little one is okay. But yeah, it was a bit sad to read that one. But yeah, big up to Mason as always. No worries about that. Yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in, send in your comments, tune in the comments, and engage with us. We appreciate all the predictions that were sent. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to us. Like the stream you haven't already, and we'll definitely be back for sure next week. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. If you want to follow us, YouTube or Football, Instagram or Football, Twitter, or Footy. And yeah, that's it for now. We'll be back soon next week. For now, see you guys later. Peace.